The leggies taking the wickets?
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's still some areas that we need to improve on. I mean, it was, I thought, a very thorough professional work in the last game. So we are looking forward to ticking those boxes even in this one, and the focus will be on that rather than what the opposition do. So the focus is more internal.
Conditions, small ground. What do you do as a side to ensure you're attuned to what must happen skills-wise here?
I think it's the length. Sharjah hasn't changed over the years. From the time that I played, of course, batters are hitting it out of the park these days. But other than that, I think the pitch remains the same. It is a smaller ground compared to Dubai. So yes, I mean, in terms of skill, the length will be the key. The margin of error is very limited. So we have discussed that. We have discussed about areas to bowl at, the batsman and the length that one needs to bowl. So that's about it. I mean, focus on that and not get too worried about the size of the ground, because as a bowler, the last thing that you want discussed about areas to bowl at, the batsman and the length sort of beat one needs to make sure that the lengths are right and try and execute those.
I'm glad you still think as a bowler, mate. Thanks for chatting to us and all the best today.
Thanks, cheers. Bye.
Always good to hear from Anil Kumble. Great to have a legend in Brian Lara, and also a batting coach who's worked with the Indian team for so long. Sanjay, you've seen KL Rahul from close quarters. That knock must inspire a lot of confidence. Can he back that up tonight?
I think so, because he is a consistent player, and he always has these good run of scores back to back, and he's somebody who's not going to give the form straight away, because he believes in batting till the very end, as he said in the captain's at the toss. Also said that this six-sitting ground is not going to dictate the way he's going to approach the start of the innings. So from that perspective, I feel that he's already set his mind and set his shop for a big score.
And since the IPL in 2018, Brian, 4 innings, 350 plus scores versus this side. Do you start to feel comfortable when you have success against a particular side?
Yeah, but I think it's important. He's such a well-rounded player against any sort of attack. So I think that he's confident, and he started the tournament really well. And against RR, he'll be looking to sort of continue that success that we've had so far. So I think KL Rahul is definitely one of the most outstanding batsmen in the world of cricket, not just the IPL. So I expect him to really build on that big 100 that he scored in the previous match.
Yeah, we're hoping so as well. Kings 11 fans will be hoping so. Let's take a look at the phone pay playing 11 for the Kings 11 Punjab. They will be batting first, remember, and we will see KL Rahul in action very, very quickly. Now KL Rahul up the top with Mayank Agarwal. Should be no change there, but that top order looking good. They would like some runs from Nicholas Purran, Brian. I know you're a fan of that man.
Yeah, I mean, he's a left-hander, of course, but I think Nicholas Purran needs to come to the party. There's so much competition there in that team with Chris Gayle sitting out, so I need him to come to the party today, especially.
And Sanjay, they've gone with the 2 leggies again, Ravi Bishnoi and Murugan Ashwin.
Perfect sense, because Rajasthan Royals do not have too many left-handers, and even if any left-hander is playing, I feel that Bishnoi, by taking the ball away, and Ashwin, who has got a big googly, they can actually create a lot of troubles for the left-handers as well.
Yeah, and that's going to be important to watch the way the 2 leg spinners operate together. They were sensational last time around, 6 wickets between them. Let's take a look at the Rajasthan Royals playing 11. A couple of big changes in this lineup, and a couple of good changes, Sanjay, for them. The biggest of them all, Joss Buttler.
Yeah, Joss Buttler, as Brian was just saying, that's such a quality player, world-class performer. You want him at the top of the order, and he's always done the job for the team. And apart from that, they also have 2 leg spinners, Tewatia and Shreyas Iyer, doing the job for them. So from that perspective, I feel that they've also got all their bases covered.
Well, the big battle that we're going to be looking forward to as we take a look at the caps being handed out. Ankit Rajput playing his first game with the Royals as well. The big battle that we have to watch out for is up at the top. Jofra Archer, who's going to be super quick with that new ball, up against KL Rahul. What a key battle that is.
And launched. That is out of a cannon. Top tier.
KL Rahul destroyed Dale Steyn in Dubai.
And it just keeps getting worse for Dale Steyn.
Blazing his way to the first century of the season, the highest score by an Indian in the history of the Dream 11 IPL.
Not sure they are anymore. What an innings from the skipper.
Tonight, Rahul goes face to face against another ace of pace, Jofra Archer. He's got a fast Yorker, a faster bouncer,
Got a wicket made here, Archer.
and an eye for the bullseye. But so far in the IPL, Archer hasn't hit his targets against KL Rahul.
That is 6. It's gone a long way using the pace of Archer.
They faced each other 3 times in the Dream 11 IPL, and their battles have been one-sided. Rahul has smashed Archer for 58 runs of 34 balls and never been dismissed. In fact, no one has scored more runs off Archer than Rahul. With Archer unable to stop Rahul with a new ball, the KingXi opener has smashed 3 half-centuries in his last 4 innings against the Royals. But Rahul could face a tougher challenge against a much-improved Archer this season. The Royals pacer has a lot more international experience now. After all, he was instrumental in winning the World Cup for England. So will Archer finally hit his target against the KingXi skipper tonight? Or will Rahul once again dominate this key battle?
That is going to be one mouth-watering battle. KL Rahul up against Jofra Archer. The whole world is talking about how you can stop KL Rahul. Well, we might have the answers because we've got Scotty Styrus with our Sahi Hai game plan and how that might come about.
Hello and welcome to the game plan. Let's take a look at the captain of the Kings 11. Of course, it is KL Rahul. Coming off a magnificent 132 in the last match, how does Rajasthan get him out? Well, let's take a look at what I believe plan A should be, and that is a traditional line and length. The reason for that is that KL Rahul is a traditional batsman who likes to play cricket shots rather than slog across the line. If there is any sort of movement in the pitch, you will find it with that slightly fuller delivery. Now, let's confirm the pitch map, and the length is the important thing. 5 deliveries on a good length, pitching the ball up, getting the most out of the movement. However, if you think about this pitch, and it's Sharjah, 33 sixes hit last time, therefore it's a batting surface. Maybe the slips are not in place. So what do? You've got to change your pace. Keep KL Rahul guessing. That fuller line and length is still the preferable one. The pace there on the right, nothing really gets up over 125 kilometres an hour. So mix it up nicely. If you do that, then I think you're still creating opportunities to get him out. Now, I want to show you why I think this is the case. Early in his innings, if I take my stance, just like KL Rahul, he doesn't get a big stride into the ball to cover that movement. He gets just in front of the crease and then he ends up using his hands to find the ball. Now, this pitch, as I say, in Sharjah, hasn't been a lot of sideways movement. So what do? You can play with the field. I believe there should be catches on both sides, maybe 15 metres back. What that does is allows mid-on and mid-off to push back a little deeper, maybe on the circle, so that if he does look to go over the top, you've still got those fieldsmen protecting that. If he slightly gets it wrong with that slower ball, you've got players in catching position. You still have to try and get him out. If you allow him to get in, he will use the pace, go square of the wicket and dominate. That is my plan for KL Rahul.
Slick as ever from you, Scotty Styrus. Thank you for that. Gentlemen, before we head into live action, who's got this one, Brian?
I think a captain who scored over 200 runs batting first and choosing to bowl first, winning the toss. I think he knows a little bit more than us, so RR for me.
Are you going to go with RR or Kings 11?
I'll go Kings 11. Team batting first. I think they'll get runs on board and put that pressure not so on the top order of RR, but on the middle of RR.
Well, we've got live action coming away, and on our way out, we'll take a look at some wonderful COVID heroes, this time from Ludhiana.
मैं ये नहीं सोचती कि मैंने लॉकडाउन में करना था, करे जा रहे हैं, बस किसी की इच्छा पूरी कर दो। भक्ति भी लोग करते हैं, ये भी एक भक्ति है। 31 मार्च को हमारे फिर से ऑर्डर कर दिए गए कि आप पोस्ट ऑफिस खोलो और काम शुरू करो। जब हमने पोस्ट ऑफिस खोला, बहुत लोग आए, कईयों की नौकरी चली गई, कहते हमारे पास पैसे ही नहीं है, खाने के लिए नहीं है, हम कब तक मांगे लोगों से। जब डिलीवरी देने के लिए जाते थे ना, तो ये मुझे आके बताते होते थे क्या हाल है दुनिया का, तब हम सब ने ये डिसाइड किया कि हम अपनी सैलरी से 10% निकाल के उसका सामान लाके इन सबको डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करेंगे। सरकार तो जो कर रही है, हम भी करें। एक पिंड है यहाँ पे, सुनेत पिंड, उसमें बहुत गरीब लोग रहते हैं। उनको खाने को भी नहीं मिलता था। जब जिनके पास घर का किराया नहीं है, खाने को नहीं है, वो क्या करेगा? इतना बुरा हाल था उन लोगों का। सबसे पहले 50 पैकेट्स रसद के मंगवाए। इसमें आटा, दाल, चावल, चीनी, चाय पत्ती, नमक, मिर्च, हल्दी, तेल, ये सब कुछ पैक बनवाया। देखते थे जब बच्चे छोटे हैं, हम वहाँ दूध देते थे, ब्रेड दे देते थे, चलो चाय बना लेंगे, कुछ कर लेंगे, बच्चों को मिल जाएगा। लोग एक दूसरे के ऊपर चढ़ के आने को हो रहे थे, हमें मिल जाए बस। इतना बुरा हाल था उन लोगों का। ऑफिस है, काम हम पूरा करते हैं, काम के मामले में हमने कोई प्यार नहीं रखते, लेकिन पर ये जो काम करते थे हम फैमिली की तरह करते। मेरी टीम मेरे साथ कंधे से कंधा मिला के चलते हैं, उन्हीं के दम पे हूँ मैं।
Welcome to our special segment, Boost Stamina Meter, only on disney+hotstar, where we evaluate the stamina of a player based on their performances and core skills and then give them a stamina score out of 100. This segment is brought to you by Boost, which gives 3 times the stamina to our champions. So let's find out who's topping the stamina meter in today's upcoming Dream 11 IPL game.
राजस्थान रॉयल्स के कप्तान स्टीव स्मिथ बूस्ट स्टैमिना मीटर में हल्ला बोल रहे हैं 92 पॉइंट्स के साथ, जो पिछले मैच में उनका स्टैमिना स्कोर था। सीएसके के खिलाफ इस मैच में स्मिथ पिच पर पारी की 111 गेंदों तक डटे रहे और उनके पिच पर रहते हुए रॉयल्स ने 172 रन जोड़े। स्टैमिना मीटर में रॉयल्स के दूसरे खिलाड़ी हैं संजू सैमसन, जिनका पिछले मैच में स्टैमिना स्कोर था 89 पॉइंट्स। संजू ने अपनी पूरी पारी टॉप गियर में खेली और ताबड़तोड़ 9 छक्के लगा के सीएसके के गेंदबाजों को पस्त किया। जब तक संजू पिच पर मौजूद थे, रॉयल्स ने 119 रन तेजी के साथ जुटाए। इस रॉयल मुकाबले में किंग्स 11 पंजाब के कप्तान केएल राहुल अपना दावा पेश करते हैं विद 89 पॉइंट्स, जो पिछले मैच में उनका स्टैमिना स्कोर था। राहुल ने शानदार शतक जड़ के कई रिकॉर्ड्स भी तोड़े और पहले ओवर से लेकर आखिरी ओवर तक पिच पर जमे रहे। उनकी पारी में 7 जबरदस्त छक्के भी शामिल थे। बूस्ट स्टैमिना मीटर में किंग्स 11 पंजाब के दूसरे खिलाड़ी हैं तेज गेंदबाज शेल्डन कॉट्रेल, जिनका पिछले मैच में स्टैमिना स्कोर था 92 पॉइंट्स। कॉट्रेल ने आरसीबी के खिलाफ शानदार गेंदबाजी की, जहां उन्होंने किफायती 2 विकेट चटकाए और 12 डॉट बॉल्स डालकर प्रेशर भी बरकरार रखा। तो आइए देखते हैं कि आज के मैच में बूस्ट स्टैमिना मीटर की बाजी कौन मारता है।
Rajveer, stop doing this. How many times have I told you?
ध्यान रख पुत्र। देखो आया डिज्नी प्लस हॉटस्टार VIP, वो भी हिंदी में। तो अब बच्चों की मस्ती होगी उनके फेवरेट्स के साथ। पेरेंट्स रिलैक्स, हम है ना।
Disney Plus invites you to believe in the extraordinary.
Time to suit up.
In their quest to add a second trophy to their cabinet, Rajasthan Royals put the competition on notice. The men in pink rode on Sanju Samson's blitz.
He goes again. It's a 6-hitting comp here for Sanju Samson.
A clinical Steve Smith and a Jofra Archer cameo propelled them to a season-opening win over 3-time champions Chennai Super Kings. Up next, Kings 11 Punjab, who after a super over heartbreak against Delhi Capitals, march into Sharjah with renewed confidence. KL Rahul leading from the front as the Red Army bulldozed Royal Challengers Bangalore in Dubai.
What an innings from the skipper.
Can the Kings 11 make it 2 in a row, or will the Royals continue their winning run? A battle royale is on the cards. It's the third largest and the third most populous city of the United Arab Emirates. Tonight for Dream 11 IPL action, we are in Sharjah, the ground that has hosted in excess of 200 one-day internationals in its time, but tonight it is all about 2020 action. Kings 11 Punjab, Rajasthan Royals, ready to do battle. Dream 11 IPL action for 2020. KL Rahul, absolutely brilliant the other night, and Stephen Smith, who got his Rajasthan Royals off to a great start at this very ground. There he is, the skipper of the Rajasthan Royals, 69 for him in their first encounter. Take a look at the results gone, and the Rajasthan Royals hold a slight edge, 10-9 over the Kings 11 Punjab. It is a very tight contest between these two, as it has been throughout all the years of IPL. Points table sees the Delhi Capitals played 2-1-2. They look a good side, and the Kings 11 Punjab, after that super over loss, picked up a convincing win in their second match, and the Rajasthan Royals were way too good for the Chennai Super Kings in Sharjah in their first encounter. And the last team they will be to play their second game. Surface, well, as you would expect here in Sharjah, unlike Abu Dhabi and Dubai, very little grass at all. I wouldn't say rolled mud, because it is better than that, but spin and seam, 16 overs of spin, 5 wickets. The economy rate's very similar. It's a tough encounter for all bowlers concerned, and that's why we look at the two grounds that are used south of here in Abu Dhabi and Dubai, and they're a lot bigger. This very small dimensions in comparison to those other two stadiums that are being used. Michael Slater was out in the middle for the toss a little while ago, and it fell the way of the Rajasthan Royals. They decided to bowl first. To run you through the two teams. First up, the Kings 11 Punjab. It'll be Laxman Sivaramakrishnan and Kevin Peterson to follow.
Good afternoon, Dooley. Good afternoon, all. Well, KL Rahul would have been disappointed just for a mini-second when he lost the toss, but be very, very happy to be batting first. He's in prime form. This partner from Karnataka, Mayank Agarwal, Karun Nair, the top three from Karnataka, and then you get the dangerous Nicholas Pooran. A few thoughts about any changes in the side, but they did the right thing by keeping the same side. Morgan Ashwin and Mohammad Shamil, Shane Cottrell, Bishnoi will be expected to do the bulk of the bowling on this flaccid batting wicket.
Good evening, everybody. It's the Rajasthan Royals, and there are a couple of changes here. Ankit Rajput and Jos Buttler, they come in, and it's Jaswal and David Miller that unfortunately miss out. But if you have a look at that team, you see the Smith, you see Butler, you see Samson, you see Uthappa, you see Parag, you see Curran. You just see power, you see youth, you see experience, you see quality, you see class. Oh, they've set up a good team here. They really have set up a good team, have the Rajasthan Royals. Have a look at the bowlers. Tiwari, Gopal, Archer, Rajput, Unadkat. Again, it complements the batters. This is a well-rounded team, selected well, picked well. It's being managed by a wonderful coach, and they're going to be very difficult to beat in this year's IPL.
Yeah, both sides looking strong for tonight's encounter. Rajasthan Royals know this ground so well after winning their first encounter here. Nice road trip, a very comfortable road trip to this ground in Sharjah to watch these men do battle. Stephen Smith, 69 in that first game. He was very good up the top of the order, as was KL Rahul. 132 not out. Highest score by an Indian in IPL, highest score by a captain in the IPL. And the Rajasthan welcome back Jos Buttler. 1,386 runs in 45 matches of IPL for Jos Buttler. Mayank Agarwal picked up his highest score in IPL history. 89 against the Delhi Capitals. He scored 115 runs. Jofra Archer, his 100th T20 international, 27 with the bat and a wicket in the Rajasthan Royals' first game. And hasn't this man been on fire? Mohammad Shami, part of the very good quality opening attack for the Kings 11 Punjab. Almost set to go. Richard Illingworth, left of screen. Mr. K. Srinivasan, right of screen. The two umpires for tonight's encounter. Shamshuddin is up in the third umpire's box. You'll be hearing his voice throughout the night, no doubt. Captain having a few words there for the Rajasthan Royals, Steve Smith. So say good evening once again to Kevin Peterson and Laxman Sivaramakrishnan. Very short team talk there, KP. Not much needed to be said after game number one.
Not at all. Good evening again, everybody. It's all set for something quite remarkable. If we have a think back to a couple of nights ago here in Sharjah, 33 sixes were hit. 33 sixes. It equalled the IPL history. Equalled that in the Chinnaswamy Stadium all those years ago. But two different teams. Two teams in form with quality players. You got your man on screen there, Jos Buttler. He comes back in, and what impresses me most about Buttler is his strike rate. He's striking at 150 in this form of the game. Some player, Shiva.
We literally had to bring KP down to the commentary box. Bring him upstairs here. Such a batting beauty, this. Bit of sheen, small ground, and expect some big scores. This man's had a wonderful time in this format, T20 format, white ball cricket. Excellent numbers a couple of years ago in the IPL. He started magnificently this season, KL Rahul.
One and four times he makes it to a half century, KL Rahul. Mayank Agarwal. We saw some of the best of him in the Kings 11 Punjab's encounter against the Delhi Capitals. Did everything but get them across the line. Jaydev Nadkat. Left arm seamer. 77 wickets for him. He'll start things off. He did the same thing in their first encounter. The Rajasthan Royals, he and Jofra Archer sharing the new ball. How tough to back up 132 not out. KP, do you walk out there full of confidence? Or they're just a few nerves still?
You definitely walk out there with confidence. What's not confident amongst all the viewers around the world is, or maybe he is, with that view. Very unfortunate circumstances these for Mr. Universe Boss. He's not playing in the tournament. He hasn't played so far. We thought he may get a game tonight, but he's not playing. But to go back to KL Rahul, you walk out there confident. Goodness, once you've just gone 130 red, you walk out there and you get to this ground, you think, if I get myself in, I can go again and I can go real big. Real big.
All right, first ball of this Dream 11 IPL match.
Yes.
On the money, Unadkat, but a good single.
Rajasthan Royals deciding to bowl first. Will have to attack KL Rahul. Have to get him on early. Otherwise, such a good batting surface. Earlier on, he looked to get off strike like he did. Mayank Agarwal and KL Rahul play for Karnataka. So they will have a very good understanding in running between the wickets. The pressure on the bowlers to knock over both these batsmen.
Oh, nicely bowled. A little bit of movement. Decent pace off the pitch.
Yeah, pretty decent to not cut. Bit of a veteran now, getting on and playing this form of the game. He's got slow balls at the back of the hand. He's got slow ball bounces. It's the ball up there. He tries to get it to swing early. Looks for early wickets, but I agree with Shiva. It's about getting wickets, and it's about getting wickets early.
Anybody gets set on this pitch, there's no chance of stopping him. So it's got to be a positive mode in deciding to bowl first. They go on the defensive, they're asking for trouble. Very, very strong team. Top three from Karnataka, Karunaya. And Nicholas Pooran, the left-hander, will enjoy batting on this pitch. The dangerous Maxwell and Sarfraz. And then the one all-rounder, and then the bowlers. The terrific bowler, Mohammad Shami.
A little bit of bounce. Well, the innings against RCB just shows you how you don't have to go guns blazing from the start. First 23 runs off 18 deliveries in the power play for KL Rahul the other night, and then 47 from 31 balls through 7 to 15, but it was the back half of that innings, 62 off 20 balls when he finished off in the 15th to the 20th, the 16th to the 20th over.
And that just tells you something. It tells you that he's prepared to give himself a little bit of time in order to make sure that he can go on, he can go big. And it's actually an example, as he'll pick up maybe two. There's not a lot of twos on this ground, just one. But it's an example to all the other batters. And you actually saw with Delhi Capitals the other night. You saw Shikhar Dhawan and you saw Prithvi Shaw. They knocked it around a little while. They were 36 without loss. And then all of a sudden it was crash, bang and wallop. But these are the highlights of something that you will just look at. And there's a cover drive, which I hope we do see in this little package, which was something to behold. Absolutely beautiful. And shots all over the ground. This guy can properly play.
Tidy start from Anodka, 3 without loss after 1.
अरे हाथ को तो नहीं लगी 20 रुपए दे
किस बात के
भाई बॉल कोने के
पकड़ सकता था वो
भाई बॉल उसको छुई नहीं छूती तो वो देता नहीं छुई तो तू देगा ना
यार
मुझे पता था नहीं अच्छा घर से लेके
ड्रीम लेवल
The batsman's looking confident here. Oh, that's clearly swung the match.
Great discounts on match days. Swiggy Matchday Mania.
My name is Virat Kohli and I write my success story myself.
Philips Signature Series Trimmer. Limited Virat Kohli edition for the self-made.
Rajput comes in for him. Butler in for David Miller, who was run out without facing a ball. Don't get Rajput taking the new ball with Unadkat.
I'm not a massive fan of this, guys. I'm not a massive fan of Ankot taking the new ball here. I'm not a massive fan at all. I think that to back up what Shiva says on taking wickets, that Jofra Archer should have taken the new ball. Get KL Rahul out. Knock him over early. That's where they should have been looking at. You've got to be proactive, and especially in circumstances like this when you're playing on a wicket like this. And he gets away now. He gets a couple of boundaries here. Then he may be away. I'm certainly not disrespecting Rajput at all. He can get wickets. However, I think Jofra Archer is the man who should have bowled to KL Rahul straight away.
The question though is, did you win the toss and decide to field to see how much the opposition gets? Or did you win the toss and field to put pressure on the opposition?
Yeah, I'm with you. I've got to get these guys out and trying to restrict. I think you win the toss and field because you think it's the best thing you can possibly do to win the game, I would hope. Therefore, you've got to knock the opposition over or use the new ball to advantage. And that's not quite using it to advantage. In the slot, down the ground, 6.
And that's an academy cracking 6 to start us off here today.
The first boundary is a 6. So we talked about the 6s. And we're almost at 100 in the tournament so far. And I don't think that Jofra Archer would have been hit over his head for 6. I just don't seem to think so.
It plays on the batsman's mind when somebody is bowling quick at 145.
Spent some time bowling in both these players in the nets last season. Ankit Rajput was with the Kings 11 Punjab. He went there in 2018 and had some success, but he's been picked up by Rajasthan Royals, so they know each other very well.
They certainly will look for maximum. That's some high on confidence, looking at the opposition go on the defensive. All you need to make decent enough contact, hit down the ground. So when Jofra Archer bowls, there is a reputation. He's a very quick bowler. He can bowl the short ball. He can bowl a good Yorker. So the batsman's thinking. That's it's in the case of Ankit Rajput being a domestic cricketer. And Mayank Agarwal has played a lot of domestic cricket. He knows exactly what he's made of. And KL Rahul is a class apart.
And pinch one off the last ball of the second over. 11 without loss.
Before you buy a new car, make sure you visit the Car Dekho app. Compare cars, check out expert reviews, get the best offer and discounts. Download the Car Dekho app today.
For those who want more from life, Kingfish Ultra, the smooth choice.
Pulls this time, not perfectly timed. It'll just be a couple of bounces and into the advertising triangle.
Mayank Agarwal, he is away. 6 and a 4. He certainly got himself going this evening. He's a good player. We saw that the other night in Dubai. Shots all around the wicket. That's a good one.
He played a bit of pace off from Unadkat in the middle of the Cred power play. See how rewarding this power play might be for the Kings 11 Punjab fans who use the Cred app during the power plays can also be rewarded. One lucky fan will be featured in Dream 11 IPL and he will be rewarded very handsomely as well on the Cred app. Get involved. Oh, how good. Just be a couple.
You talk about being a class apart. I mean, you saw the way that Mayank Agarwal hit it to the sweeper and he only picked up a single. You talk about how good KL Rahul is. Oh my word, just have a look at this. Youngsters, bang, look at that defensive shot. Look at this, in position so good, hands so good through the ball. He places the ball where there's no fielder. And he picks up what you don't often pick up on this wicket here in Sharjah. He picked up a 2. Clever, clever batting.
Even the defense was perfect. Head over the ball, bat underneath the eyes. The last ball of the previous over that he bowled would not cut was the cutter at 114 Ks. Is he going to finish on a similar line in this over?
We'll have to re-bowl that. It's gone straight through Joss Butler. Up a couple of wides.
Wides and one for the over as well. And even in T20 cricket, an admired technique.
Yeah, the Unacademy learned from the best, and I think the one thing about that you mentioned, Shiva, it didn't seem to come onto the bat. He waited for it, just waited for it, kept his shape, waited till it was below his eyes, just pushed it nicely into the covers for a couple. Kids watching at home, take note, from the best. Oh, there's another six, and that'll be number 100 of the Dream 11 IPL already.
We're into the third over, and it is raining sixes. Here she goes. She's going to tick over 3 figures. 100 maximums.
It's been really terrible for the bowler. The extra delivery after having bowled wide. And if you're going to bowl quick and short, it's got to be at a good height.
No run. 17 from the over. At the end of 3, it is 28 without loss.
पुराने जैसा आश्रम ना आइए।
बाबा निराला काशीपुर वाला कुछ ज्यादा ही तेजी से आगे बढ़ रहा है। मैं उपदेश नहीं संदेश देता हूँ शांति का।
He is not a god man. He is con man.
एक बार जो आश्रम आ गया ना तो यू टर्न तो ना है कोई।
बाउंड्रीज बदल गई, बॉल बदल गई, बैट बदल गए, शोर बदल गया, स्कोर बदल गया, अपना क्रिकेट बदल गया। अब उसे फॉलो करने का तरीका बदल देते हैं। Cricket.com, cricket like never before.
Rahul. Now going to see Jofra Archer. Rajput bowled the first over from our commentary box end. Deep backward square. And a third man on the boundary. He starts with a slower ball and he is met with a gorgeous cover drive.
Yeah, it's another gorgeous cover drive, but shocking bowling. He bowls 140, 150 kilometres per hour. We talked about it the other night. He bowled how many slower balls at the start of his bowling. It's not about slower balls for Jofra Archer with the new ball. It's about bowling 145, get a slipping position and try and get a wicket.
A real gift that. Rahul.
As is that. Shiva, talk us through it.
This is magnificent. Everything right about that. No margin for error. When you bowl against a class batsman who's in prime form, the back flow, the steady head, and the placement is even better. Stand up and salute.
Certainly wasn't on our menu. 106 kilometre per hour slow ball wide of off stump and then a hard volley. Come on, Jofra.
Going towards third man, it'll race away. 3 in a row.
People will be wondering all this talk about Jofra Archer coming in and charging KL Rahul. At the moment, KL Rahul looking very, very dangerous once again. Bit of a slice, no stopping that.
And just sometimes batsmen can intimidate bowlers. Playing in Sharjah, and that's the only thing that I can feel here is that Jofra Archer is worried about KL Rahul. Worried about how good he is. He's worried about the ground. He's worried about the size of the ground. KL Rahul's on top here.
Well, it's about the reputation. It's all about the first 2-3 deliveries that you get into a spell. You're a fast bowler. You start with a slow delivery at 106, which means You've been hit nicely, and then two gorgeous shots. Not taking any credit away from the batsman.
Well, every Sunday we will bring you the Dream 11 game-changing performance of the week from Dream 11 IPL. And this week with 180 fantasy points, KL Rahul is our Dream 11 game-changing performance of the week. Absolutely scintillating. We've talked so much about it, and I believe we'll probably talk about it throughout the tournament. 132 not out. Sublime performance.
What's a shot?
13 from that Jofra Archer over and after just 4. It is 41 without loss.
This is Hosh. This is Josh. For many more funny videos, get on to Josh now.
अरे माही अब रिटायर हो गया तब जाके टाइम मिला हमारे साथ खेलने का। मेरे रिटायरमेंट की बहुत फिक्र है तुम लोगों को। हर किसी को अपने रिटायरमेंट की फिक्र होती है, मुझे शायद नहीं होगी।
मैंने फिक्र नहीं तैयारी की है म्यूचुअल फंड्स के साथ।
क्रिकेटर्स को पैसे दे दो तो वो कुछ भी कह देते हैं।
पैसे दिए इसलिए नहीं, मैंने अपने पैसे बरसों से म्यूचुअल फंड्स पे इन्वेस्ट किए, इसलिए कह रहा हूँ रिटायरमेंट प्लानिंग के लिए म्यूचुअल फंड सही है।
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
One for no loss, and Rajput has been turned around to the other end. First over went for 8. Archer's first over, bowling fourth, has gone for 13. Can you believe it? I would have thought he'd take the new ball. So the heat's on the fielding side at the moment. There's no doubt about it, given the consistency of this opening pair, but certainly the form of KL Rahul, who has raced to 20 from 14. Rowan Gavaskar next to me and Pommy Mbangu. Hi, gents.
Evening, Slats. 31 matches, 1425 runs for KL Rahul. What a magnificent player.
There he goes for the onside. Just a little tacky underneath. Steve Smith's spikes, they were going in easily, so it suggests it'll just sit up occasionally. Might be as quick as normally is the case here in Sharjah. All the same, that's set up and deserved hitting. Only bowled at 122k an hour. What else are you going to do?
Oh, smash it. That's exactly what Mayank Agarwal's done. This is good from KingsXi Punjab. These two great mates off the field, play a lot of cricket together for Karnataka.
That'll be 4 again. Archer tried his best. But it was beautifully played, found the gap with no third man. So he's gone a length that can be tugged to the onside, but still a well-controlled shot to get him too wide and just nurdled in the gap. Well played. Really smart batting.
Yeah, two men who are in form. That's the problem they have. The Rajasthan Royals, they're bowling against guys who know about their game at this time.
It's a funny ground because it's almost either a 1 or a 4 or 6. Rarely are there 2s.
Yeah, the thing I'd say about the way things have begun for the Rajasthan Royals is they might have had the ground get into their head a whole lot, in that instead of turn up and let's see what happens on what is conventional in terms of length and line, let's see what happens first. Maybe you nick one off with the ball really new. Maybe, you don't know. But have it in that area first and then go to what is plan B. But don't just go off and start experimenting and disappear anyway.
No, I agree with you, Pommy. This is their second game here, though. They won the first one. There's some advantage in playing 2 games in Sharjah. So we've got the orange cap being moved on to this man again. He's had it, and then Faf got it, and now it's back on his head. It's just incredible, the consistency, and the consistency comes from a very solid technical foundation. Paf du Plessis, they'll be fighting it out right the way through, but what I'll say about that is at the moment KL Rahul looks to be part of a really good squad that are likely to win most of their matches, whereas CSK, despite the runs Paf's getting, just struggling. They're off the pace, there's no doubt about it. Come through, good understanding, and be a wide as well. So we've got a no ball. That's the siren, and that's new to the Dream 11 IPL. Don't we love that? Don't the umpires love it? They can just concentrate at the end that they need to be concentrating on. So this is a no ball, free hit. It was also down the leg side, the last one. So Rajput really struggling.
As if it wasn't bad enough that he had to bowl an extra ball. Now, as nothing can happen for him, it's just the batsman have a go. Smash it as far, as hard as you like. Can't bet against a six.
Open licence. Here we are in Sharjah. Postage stamp ground. They just flayed through the offside. One bounce four. That'll finally finish the over. It's gone for 17.58 for no loss.
अच्छा, स्विगी शुरू?
सर, करोड़ों लोगों ने कर दिया है शुरू।
गेम को पढ़ नहीं पाए।
स्विगी पे करोड़ों लोग ऑर्डर कर चुके हैं लॉकडाउन के बाद। स्विगी, व्हाट अ स्कोर।
What are you looking at, Dad?
4WD.
4 weird doodles?
No.
4-wheel drive.
MG Gloucester. Bookings now open. For those who want more from life, Kingfish Ultra, the smooth choice.
Again, needs to improve. Needs to blast. He needs to find his pace straight away here.
Right there. That delivery right there. Quick, length, straight. How about we start there? And we're talking about three bowlers who are tall. Well, Archer's not the tallest, but he's quick. His quality, we've seen him, we know him.
Well, Pommy, I've got a suggestion. Why didn't he start the first over and try and bowl as fast as he can at KL?
And again, you're not getting too much joy out of that if he gets it right. And I agree, Slats. I was sitting here listening to Dooley, who was bemoaning that fact. Yeah, I just don't like plan B before anything's happened with plan A.
Well, at times you've just got to stick to the basics. Get your basics right, line and length, no width on offer. And see where that takes you.
Well, you're not messing around here. You're not bowling to two guys that can't bat or have proven they're not in form. That's the point. So you've got your best batters out there. We've now got the best power play on our hands.
Yeah, and I think that's why, Sleds. If you ask Jofra, okay, you can only bowl one ball to KL Rahul. He wants to smash you. What are you going to bowl? He's not going to run up and bowl a slower ball. If it's the only ball he's going to bowl, it's going to be back of a length and just going over off. And if you can hit that out the ground, well done. Nothing you can do about that.
Oh, you only get the 4 overs. You don't ease into it, do you? Anyway, fourth ball of the over. What's he got? Another slow ball that digs in. It'll stand up a little bit if the pitch is slow. We've got a fan poll question. I love throwing some questions out there. Who's the more complete T20 bowler? Is it Archer or Shami? Archer or Shami? Well, I know who I think's bowling better at this stage of the tournament.
Still the single. Got a chance if he hits. No, he's so quick. These two. Combination. So look at this opening stand. It's the highest power play. It was 59 for 1 won by Indians prior to that. 60 for no loss, and we keep seeing Steve Smith, the skipper. He's got a lot to think about. Because the bowlers just aren't quite doing the job for him at the moment. That one, you see that just stop in the pitch. Better line. 60 for no loss. Great power play.
For the meeting between a mountain lover and the sea. New Tiguan Allspace fits all. Volkswagen.
ये मैं कर लेता हूँ, तब तक आप ड्रीम 11 पे जाके टीम बनाइए.
Dream 11. Make your team now.
Life in the urban jungle is difficult. Only a few species survive here. The Tough Urban, presenting the new Ignis compact urban SUV.
Nexa.
It's great to be in Sharjah. And Glenn Maxwell. Really like to see him shine this IPL. It's a sad day for him. Need to mention he has got a black armband on. He's lost his manager, Tony Connolly, and so he's feeling the pinch. We've all been feeling the pinch the last few days with the passing of Dean Jones. His manager, Tony Connolly, has just passed away. As we have another change, so we're going to slow it down. Is this a good move, Rowan?
Well, Shreyas Gopal plays for Karnataka, as does KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal. So he would know their strengths and weaknesses.
Gopal now.
Well, the one thing I would say at this point is Shreyas Gopal needs to be clever. Get his line and length right. And after that, he's got to mix it like Betty Crocker. Can't bowl the same ball over and over again. Got to get the googly in, got to get the slider in.
You'll have lost a few there, Ro.
Oh, half a shout there. Got to get the judgment right. He does play that sweep shot nicely.
Do you know, I don't think they've come out of the power play too badly. 60 without loss, and I know you look at it and you think, oh, highest power play, and they've gone to all parts. The only thing, and it's the final thing I'll say about it, is they might have had 60 for 1, they might have had 60 for 2, if they'd actually thought in attacking fashion.
Yeah, that hasn't happened. And then you've got Pooran, they've stuck with him. There were no changes for Kings 11. We've gone with the winning formula. And so we've got the Archer Hawkeye just showing the lengths. And he's going in the slot. That's the reason it's called a slot. And there's the short ball. Short ball's been doing the business at Dubai with the longer boundaries. There's been far too many slow balls, far too many in the slot. And I don't think this pitch at the moment is that quick, to be honest with you. There he goes. He's got hold of it. He was able to get his hands on it, throw it back inside. So good effort in the deep. That's a miss hit, nearly going all the way.
Now Riyan Parag, has he saved a few runs for his team? Exciting young talent, young Parag. Impressed one and all in last year's edition. Clever. Yeah, I think he's done well there.
It's good effort, but it just goes to show that was a total miss hit. We're at Abu Dhabi, we're in Dubai, that is caught.
or it's a catching chance. We've seen a few go down, to be honest with you. But that was a total miss hit. And that's where the bowlers, there's extra pressure. 7 overs have been bowled, 67 for no loss.
डिसीजन पेंडिंग है, पर तुम्हारा डिसीजन अभी ले लो। माय 11 सर्कल पे अपनी टीम बनाओ और मुझे हराओ। खुद को चैंप समझते हो तो प्ले विद चैंपियंस। डाउनलोड माय 11 सर्कल ऐप नाउ।
अरे ओ credit card bill is here, need OTP to clear. Download Cred and you'll be what a player. Cred download.
Let's just do a simple voiceover like download Cred.
Download Cred. Get rewards for paying your credit card bills. Cred.
I'm too big for this guys anyway. This is Hosh. This is Josh. For many more romantic and cute videos, get on to Josh now.
Keep batting all the way through for his side, KL Rahul, and the back end, that power game that he showed, well, hadn't seen it too often before. He showed he can do it last year, maybe even the season before. The story with him was the fact that he would get in, he would get quick, maybe even half centuries or quick 30 and 40, but he would get out. And to score 132, he'll want to be in again right till the end.
Rahul Tewatia comes into the attack, so it's a double change and making sure that the ball is being slowed down. Tewatia on the back of 3 wickets. But the most important thing for Kings 11 are these half-century starts. The fact that there's another 50 in 5 opportunities, and there's 3. So the combination is simply outstanding. The strike rate to Rahul, just about 140, just under 150 for Agarwal. That should go. Oh, it's found the gap. It was going to be a catch if the man was behind it. Thing is, there is no chance if it hits any sort of gap because the boundaries are quite short. It is there. And so hard to pull back.
6 hitting is a weapon on this ground, and so often these days with modern batsmen you watch them practice and they just practice whacking it over the ropes, and they can. So if someone can be controlled here at this ground and just sit about the bowling, picking the correct ones, there's your guy who will win you the game.
Well, it needs to be a big mistake now for one of these two to make the error. That is huge, the biggest of the day, dead straight. Sensational striking.
That was massive. Absolutely massive. Yeah, definite contender for the ultra super striker of the match, Mayank Agarwal. Honestly, if that stand wasn't there, probably would have gone into a different postcode. Well, that's how big that was.
Well, so hard now, so hard to keep anyone quiet. That's in the gap again. No chance to run around and stop it. It's getting out of control here for Rajasthan Royals. Steve Smith, he's got the 2 spinners on now. The slowness of pace. There needs to be just a couple of breaths taken. Just relax. Not think about the shortness of these boundaries at all. It's about normal bowling. Just forget the length of boundaries and apply good bowling principles about line length, using subtle change in pace.
Well, what was really good about that pull shot was there was clever batting. The 6 that was hit was pitched up, full length. Mayank Agarwal went downtown, and he knew as a batsman that Tewatia was going to change his trajectory, drag it down a little bit.
Tough times these for bowlers. 86 without loss. The Seat tyres. Strategic timeout called. Yeah, there'll be a bit of some strategy. There must be to try and pull things back. 86 without loss.
Oh, you need ACC.
A cute crocodile.
Adaptive cruise control.
NG Gloucester. Bookings now open.
छक्का ये बॉलर को हटा रे इस बात का आउट है भाई छत के ऊपर छक्का है छत पे लग के अगर हाथ में आई तो आउट है गोलू
Dream 11.
I browsed 8 sites for divorce attorneys today.
I browsed 8 sites for divorce attorneys today.
I love working with you.
Me too.
Red heart emoji.
Blue heart emoji.
I hate Levo.
Puke emoji.
Puke emoji.
My home is in 1,000 feet.
I've only walked 598 steps today.
My login for everything is Pauline at PaulineFood.com.
My heart rate is 100, 101, 102, 107.
ये है होश, ये है जोश। ऐसे ही ढेर सारे रोमांटिक और क्यूट वीडियोस के लिए जोश में आ जा।
भेज दिया उसको हिसाब।
भाई खाता आउट करो, खाता बुक डाउनलोड करो, ये ऑटोमेटिकली हिसाब करे, उधारी वापस लाए फटाफट। खाता बुक, बिजनेस हुआ इजी।
For the meeting between a mountain lover and the sea. New Tig 1 all space fits all. Volkswagen.
Oh mama, pretty mama, yeah 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 yeah. Oh mama.
सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग में और ज्यादा डिस्टेंसिंग क्यों?
टिकट टिकट टिकट। हेलो 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 हेलो।
स्मेल रेडी विद एक्स टिकट अब सिर्फ 35 रुपीज में।
तुम एक अकेली जान अपने एजेंट्स को बचाओगे या अपने आवाम को?
Crackdown, streaming now on Voot Select.
You're gonna build Ferrari with a Ford. Give me one reason why I don't fire everyone starting with you.
Well, sir, we're lighter, we're faster. If that don't work, we're nastier.
The end of the Seat tyres strategic timeout. Opportunity to chit-chat, to strategize and try and come back. Here's Gopal.
Now we've got Sairaj Bhautale with us. Domestic Titans, 600 plus first class wickets, 6,000 plus first class runs. Sai, can you hear us?
Gone for the big one again, and it's big enough. Doesn't have to be very big. And what about that to bring up 50 for Mayank Agarwal off just 26 balls, and he's given his side a top start here.
Brilliant. Just brilliant from Mayank Agarwal. We did see a graphic early on in the innings where KL Rahul #1 in the list of run scorers, but what would be really pleasing for the Kings 11 Punjab is Mayank Agarwal was #3. Now if you've got your top two competing for that spot, you know you're in a good position. Should push hard, get too easily.
Yeah, said at the end of the previous one, it's tough work if you're the bowler here. Simon Dools joined us.